G'day and welcome back to Ryobitized. Today we'll be looking at the upgraded Ryobi zero-turn mower bagging kit. We'll show you what's in the box, how to install it, and what the difference is between the old one. And I'll also show you some footage of it in action as well. Alright, first thing out of the box, we've got our two catching blades. They have that uplifted edge on them to get the grass up and throw it out of the tube. Next we've got the bagger bracket assembly. And you got that hitch pin on the bottom there. Good sturdy material this, and it's got some weight to it as well. Next up, we've got the lower bagging tube. This is the part that gets attached to your deck, and you got a couple of hooks here to secure it to the deck itself. Up the top, you'll have the rubber hook here to attach your upper bagging tube to the lower one. Next up is the upper bagging tube. So this part here will go into your bagger cover, and this part down here will go onto your lower bagger tube with the rubber hook we showed you before. Also in here, we've got the newer design for showing you if the bagger is full or not. I know with the older one, it's a little bit touch and go and doesn't work very well with the little green spinning blade fan thing. This year, they've got the Ryobi red little ball inside to show you if it's full or not. Next out of the box, we've got our two catching bags here. They're 100 litres capacity each, giving you a total of 200 litres for catching your grass. Last but not least, we've got our bagger bracket and our bagger cover. Now this part here is quite different to the older style with the hard shell on it for the top piece. So we'll see how that compares. And I'm glad they've gotten rid of that red cable as well from the older one. It's more simpler to keep it all together and hold the lid down. You also get your instructions in the box as well with your safety directions on how to change the blade and the bagging instructions on how to install it. But I'll go and show you how to do it now. Safest way of changing your blades, take the whole deck off the mower altogether, flip it over, gives you a good chance to clean underneath if you need to. Then grab your socket, grab a block of wood or something metal, and we'll pretend that we use this every time. Grab that, loosen off your nut. It's a 15mm socket on here. Take that off by hand. Get your spring washer off. Take your blade off. Grab your new blade. I know my blade adapter's damaged, I don't need reminding. Grab that, line up the holes properly. Put your spring washer back on. Get your nut, do it up by hand first. Get it down till it's tight. Grab your block of wood or your stopper. Get it onto there, stop your blade from moving. Get that back on. Tighten her up nice and tight. And then you're on to the next one. The other method I use for changing the blades is the ride-on mower jack. So it just saves you taking the deck off, removing the cables. Once that's up there, we'll just secure this down by strapping the tyre to the frame of the jack itself. Get that up through there. Hook that in there. Do your strap up nice and tight. Once you've got it jacked up and secured, you can get your 15mm socket on there. Loosen it off. Do it by hand. Take the spring washer out. Get your new blade. Tuck that up. Spring washer first and get your nut on. Finger tight. Then you can tighten that back up to the specified torque. The method I use most often to tighten it up is just with your impact on auto stop. When you get that on there, and that's good to go. All right, we'll start off by getting the bagger bracket and the hitch pin in. So you want to slide that bottom piece into the hole while also putting the top piece over. And it's good they've actually put a piece of foam in here with this one. So get them both lined up together, slide it all the way down. Then you can get your hitch pin and slide that through. Next we'll slide our cover frame on. So just hook that in over there, falls down into place. Next you want to grab your bagger cover, get that roughly into place. All these plastic clips around the side here, these plastic clips, they go underneath and you want to slide them on the whole piece of metal all the way along. Same with this one here, all the way around, and just work your way around until they're all on. They got good placement for these actually. So just similar to the push mowers as well, when you grab the catches out of the box when you buy them brand new, sort of have to do the same thing with them. And that's the top cover on there. So that's the soft one with this new improved version. Next you want to put your bags in. So slide the back in like that first, then grab your other one, slide the back in, pull this down, and this here will go over like that, and you are good to go. Right, next we'll install the lower bagging tube. If we slide this onto here, you want to get that top tab pushed on first. So this one up in here, as you can see, you want to get that slid on first, and the rest should fall down into place. Next, with your two pins on you've got one on the front and one on the back. You want to pull them, put them into the hole, and then move around to the back one. You want to grab that, pop it over there like that. That fitment is a bit different to the other one. And that is your lower bagging tube on. All right, now for your upper bagging tube, you want to get this into the sock looking hole first. So slide that in, make sure that's all the way around like that. You know, get that on there nice and snug. Then down to here, grab it onto your lower bagging tube, slide it across like that with these in place, in line. Slide that on, then pull the rubber here and over just like that. All right, so we'll have a look at the older one first. Now this is the hard top version. So this is the older one where we've got the soft top now. So if we come along here, we've got our upper bagging tube installed here. So this will have the little fan spinny thing on to show you if the air's still moving through. Now the lower bagging tube seems to be the same as the newer ones. So I'll show you my older ones down here. So this is the very first one that I had. So around here, this part all broke off and I wasn't able to attach the clip on to the deck itself. Another thing that damages on here is this part here, because it's very thin plastic around these areas, and that part doesn't hold on to the tab anymore. Now, if we look at my older one that we were just using, tab seemed to have held on a bit better with that one. But at the back here, under here, we're starting to crack here. So it seems to be maybe a weak spot. If we have a look on the inside, so that's all cracked there. So that's starting to wear through. And that seems to be in a similar area where the old one broke off as well. So with the upper bagging tube here, they're very quite similar for size and everything. They have the same tabs on the side that lock into the bottom tube. Up here's a little bit different though. So instead of your little spinning fan here, that never really works great. We've got the red ball in here. Apparently when it's empty, it's moving around. And then when it's full, it's apparently stationary in one position and it doesn't move. So I guess we just got to look and we know that it's empty or it can still catch grass while it's vibrating and rattling around in there. Then when it's stopped, it's full. So with the older catcher at the back here, you've got the hard plastic. Now you've got the red string under here. What I've found, if you do have it like this, it is more convenient to use and empty easy. But when the grass bags are full, the grass sits on top of the red strings here. And then when you pull the string off, it gets the grass and falls everywhere. So what I've found works better, a little bit more of a pain though. You let that string hang down, get your bags in. Then if you reach through underneath, grab your string and you pop that down, you can put the string on like that, and the grass doesn't get caught on the top altogether under the string. Now over here, this plastic has broken here, so that's all cracked and broken there, but the string holds it down well. Over at the back here where it connects onto the mower, on the back of here, you can see that's all cracked as well. That's all damaged where it connects onto the mower itself, and one of the springs is actually come out there. Where the upper bagging tube goes into the hole here, you've just got your sort of rubber foam insert here, and that's a little bit damaged down there as well. Whereas the new one, I like the sort of sock effect thing, the fabric that goes all the way around and holds it tightly. Just back on this lower bagging tube where it connects up to the upper one, this rubber that I did originally have on mine, it is under a lot of pressure there, and mine ended up breaking. So what I did, I just put one of the hooks on there, and then where it connects onto here, so this part here, I just sort of hoop in under here, and it sort of holds it on. I probably could have ordered a special replacement from Bunnings, but that seemed to do me in the meantime until this new one arrived. I'm just going to go do a mow now with the old catcher on. I'm going to show you some of the things I don't like about it. Alright, we'll have a quick look at that. Usually what I've found with this older one, yeah, so if you're cutting like too low at one time, trying to cut the grass that's too high and maybe a bit wet, it is getting clogged up in here quite a bit. So that'll be blocked all the way down to the bottom. So you just got to cut at the top height first, cut as high as you can, then slowly just work your way down when your grass is, you know, sort of tall and long and wet like this one. So I'll show you what I was talking about with the string before. So if we lift this up when the grass is wet, see how the string's caught under and the grass is all on top of it, and just ends up making a mess. You got to take the string off, and then you got to try and get the string out from under all the grass. Another thing is, it likes to favor this left side more than the right because of the way that the tube's angled in. Sometimes I swap these over halfway through just so it starts filling up this one while it's on this side first, and then, or I could just move this over into there and start catching in this side again. Another thing I like to do is just remove the bagging kit altogether. If you've got really sort of long wettish grass like this, do it without the catcher on first and get it down to the height that you want a bit at a time, and then you can put the catcher on and just catch the top bit of grass that's there, and it seems a lot easier on the whole bagging kit. After doing that pass, so with me tucking the string under this time, if I take that off, lift this up, you'll see the string's not in the way. If there's anything half over, you can just move it into one or chuck it in the other. Easy to clean off. It does catch a lot of grass in the back here as well. You just got to remember to get that out every time as well. So I've got the new catcher on there now. We'll just try it how it is without cutting the grass first. We'll see how it goes compared to the other one. Alright, so let's have a look at what it caught in that first one. Yep, so again, because of the design of this, we are filling up this side first, and you know, a lot of the time it does overflow into this other one, but it does need some help sometimes. So maybe a redesign in this for a bit better distribution between them both might be a bit better. Overall, pretty happy. It's good I don't have that silly red string in the way anymore. It's just this clipping down and that holds it on. So around the side, if we have a look, Again, the tube is full all the way down to the bottom, but that usually happens when the grass is too long or too wet when you're trying to cut it. The grass is probably about 30-40 centimeters when we first started, and the top of the mower that goes to what, 4.5 inches. So it was a little bit taller than that when we were trying to cut it. So I'll pop the lower tube off now, and we'll go and cut the grass. We'll get it down nice and low first, and then we'll come and pick it back up. All right, we'll put that bagger kit back on, and we'll pick that up. So I'm usually wearing headphones when I mow, but what I noticed is it sounds like a little rock rattling around in the tube on its way up, but it's just a little red plastic ball here jingling around, hitting, I guess, the outer plastic. But when it was full before with the tube, I didn't notice the ball up with the airflow not moving anymore. Overall, I do like the design of the new bagger kit. The soft top, it's not as awkward to carry around and take off on and off. Little ball mechanism for telling you when it's full. It's not quite perfect, as the last one wasn't either, but the softer catcher seems a lot better. And again, if we can work out a way to fill these a bit more evenly, and I like that it doesn't have the channel at the back where the grass gets caught. Just in conclusion, like I was saying, this old one's a bit more bulky than the newer one with the soft top. I like that a lot better, but overall practicality sort of things, they're around the same. It doesn't fill both sides evenly. The little spinning thing and the little ball to show you when it's full doesn't work very well at all. And the lower bagging tube's the same as well. I'm glad to have the soft top though, works well. So it'll be out with the old and in with the new. We'll put this one into retirement. And with the bags itself, it seems very similar to the old one. The mesh of them seems exactly the same, and they're interchangeable with each other. So we've got an extra set of bags as well. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Doesn't really do much either.